Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooke and I'm a mom of 5 living with my family on a remote farm in central Canada. And this channel is my document of our family's efforts to crawl our way out of debt and achieve financial freedom. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, please feel free to follow along. Before I get into today's cash stuffing, I have a little bit of Happy Mail with a cute little Happy Mail sticker on it. This is from here we go, Saving with Tiffany. So she had done a giveaway on her channel for a Starbucks card, and I was the lucky winner. So thank you so much, Tiffany. And she was so sweet. She included a bunch of her savings challenges in this cute little card. So there's several really lovely savings challenges here. I just was tickled pink when I opened this. I thought it was just so sweet. I especially love this one. It's so beautiful. And this one's beautiful too. They're all really nice. So I haven't really done much in the way of savings challenges, so I'm kind of excited to check these out, or try these out, I should say, and add them to my binders, which I'm going to do shortly, but not today because I hadn't planned ahead for that. So I think maybe next time. So thank you so much, Tiffany. If you are interested in any of Tiffany's stuff, I will link her channel down in the description. All right, let's see what we're working with today. So this is our big pay of the month. So our income, we're a farm family, and our income is kind of erratic. It's not always you know, every Friday or every other Friday, although it has worked out that way for February and March for the most part. But typically how it goes for us is we have a few really small amounts of money coming in, and then once a month we get a big chunk of money that pays the bills and all the things. So that is today. The 20th today, and so with today's pay, I've put money aside for the mortgage, for the phone bill, for the electric, all the things. So all the bills are paid for directly out of the account, and money has been put into debt directly from the account, and then what we have left is what I pull out to put into my various categories. Now, I do need my envelope wallets before we start, so I'm going to grab those and I will be right back. Okay, envelope wallets, I almost forgot about those. Before I dive into those though, let's see how much we're working with today. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 455, 556, 20, 40, 60, 80, 7, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 65, $765. So I'm going to put that in my tray. Oop. I hate it when the bills are facing different directions. I always straighten them out. My husband makes fun of me for it. Okay, so there's our money for this week. Groceries has nothing left from last week. Gas. So if you're new to my channel, I do typically exchange my gas money to US and go across the border for gas. We are remote, which means our closest town is about half an hour away and has a population of 800 people. And then if we go across the border into the United States, the border town there is tiny and has also a population of about 900 people. And to go for groceries, we drive about an hour and 20 minutes for groceries and any other routine shopping that we need to do. So our options are fairly limited for gas, and the options we do have are expensive. So I like to convert my gas budget into US and go across to the tiny little town of 900 in the United States and get my gas there. So this week I have $3 left over from gas, which I will put aside until later. Dog food, I've got nothing left. And our feed store still has its $50 because I did not make it to the feed store last week. So this money actually has to stay in there. Luckily, we were not totally out of chicken feed, so it didn't make a huge difference that I didn't go last week, but I definitely need to stock up this week. So I'm going to keep that in there in addition to this week's amount. All right, so that takes care of rollover. There's not very much. Okay, this week groceries is getting $300. I've been working really hard to buy more groceries with less and make that money stretch. And so we're at a place now where I can typically do groceries for about $300 a week for a family of 7. So, not amazing, but better than we were doing before. Gas is going to get 80, so we'll do 50, 70, and 80. And like I said, I will convert that. Sometimes the money just doesn't want to cooperate going into the envelope. Okay, the dogs this week are getting 120. I really need to stock up this week, so I will use all of that, I'm sure. Although they should start eating a little bit less now because it's warming up. It's finally starting to get above freezing. The snow is melting. We can feel spring right around the corner. So typically the dogs don't eat as much, and the chickens and the horses. They don't eat as much when it's warmer as they do when it's cold. So fingers crossed the feed consumption goes down a little bit as the weather gets nicer. And then feed store is going to get 60, which I will add to what was left from last week and stock up on everything that I didn't get last week. So we have 50, 70, 90, 110 for the feed store this week. So those are my ongoing weekly expenses that I allocate more or less the same amount to each time I get money. And those are what I consider our family's essentials, the things that we have to spend money on each week. I do not do things like getting coffee or eating out. I don't get nails done, obviously. I don't get my hair done. I don't really do very much shopping unless the kids have outgrown their clothes or shoes. And then we try to thrift that before going to a retail store for that. So our outgoing money is, mostly the essentials, and then the kids' music lessons, sports, and things for the farm, for the horses, etc. So that's that's the weekly spending: groceries, gas, dog food, and feed store for the livestock. All right, so with what we have left, I am going to put $10 in my emergency fund. So let's see what we're at now. I have 100 in my high interest savings account, and 20, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65, 165. So I just started this emergency fund in December. Now we're in March. So this is brand new for me. It's been growing just a little bit at a time, but I was committed to putting money in every single pay period, even if it's only $5 or $10. And most of the time it is only $5 or $10. However, we've never had an emergency fund before, so even this little amount here feels like just a little extra layer of security. This is my grocery buffer, which is not getting anything this week. The kids, typically I do spending money for my kids in here, but they are not getting anything this week. But I will be putting money in for lessons and sports. So if you've been watching my recent videos, that's not how I was going to do that. I was going to do 50, 70, and 80. That's what I get for trying to talk and count money at the same time. So if you've seen my previous videos, I have mentioned that my kids are participating in this music thing. I've got a child on cello, a child on viola, and a child on violin, and a child on piano who are entering this. It's called a Festival of the Performing Arts, where they play for an adjudicator and they have their playing critiqued and graded. So I've been paying for their accompanist and their rehearsals and all of that, and of course their entry fees for the adjudicator. So this envelope has been just like constantly a revolving thing. So I have $20 left after paying the accompanist the other day. And I will have to pay the accompanist again for another rehearsal next week. So we have 50, 70, 90, 100 in lessons and sports. And these kinds of things are not ongoing expenses with the music, because most of the year they're just practicing at home, doing their thing, doing their lessons. It's just maybe once or twice a year that we have something like this that's going to take a bit more money. Okay, so the rest of these are not getting anything today, but I am going to put money in the washing machine envelope because our washing machine is on the fritz. So we are still good for now, but we're not going to be for long. And I know this small amount in this envelope isn't going to cut it, but it's what I can do right now because there are other things that are kind of more pressing. So we have 20, 30, 35 in the washing machine envelope. And that's that for kids and home. And then we're going to get into here. In this one, I've got vehicle maintenance. I had $40 in here, but my headlights burnt out, and so I needed to replace my headlights on the van. And I was pretty proud of myself. I did this all by myself. I figured out what lights I needed. I changed them myself. And I had $40 in the envelope, and my total came to like $40.63. So it worked out perfectly. And although I only had $40 in the maintenance envelope, it was actually just enough when I needed it. And if I hadn't had the envelope, I would have just had to figure out how the heck I was going to pay for that, either putting it on a credit card or something, pulling from some other category. So we're at the point now, after about 4 months of cash stuffing, where I'm starting to really notice a really big difference when it comes to things like this, having envelopes with some money in it, even if it's a small amount of money, and even if it's not always the full amount needed, it makes a big difference. Okay, so Tractor's not getting anything today. The other envelope that I've been committed to putting money into every single time I get paid is this hay equipment envelope. And so we do cut our own hay, and our equipment is old and needing replacing. And so I don't want to go into debt to replace it. So I'm just trying so hard to just put every bit that I can towards new hay equipment. And I'm just going to replace it one implement at a time, I think, so that I'm not overwhelmed by such a huge expense. If you're not familiar with farm equipment and you're wondering what kind of expense we're looking at, just look up hay buying and you'll kind of get an idea of what we're dealing with. So I'm putting 40 in there today, which is not as much as I had hoped, but it's just what I can do this week. So I have 100, 200 in my high interest savings account that I opened specifically for the hay equipment. And then I have 20, 40, 50, 65. So 265 plus all the loose change that I roll up at the end of each month. Okay, and I think that's all for this farm binder. Now, next, we do have birthdays coming up. My daughter's birthday is next week. I did already pull from this envelope to buy her birthday gift. Now I need to do her birthday dinner and make her cake and pick up ice cream. So I do have one more pay period before her birthday. So this week I'm going to add 50 in there, and then next week I will add the rest. And I'm going to flip all the way back here. Nothing in any of the other envelopes, but I do have to put money in trips because my youngest sister is having her first baby end of May, beginning of June, and I will be flying out to the West Coast to be with her. So I'm only adding 10 today because that's all I have left. But I will start stuffing a lot more into this after my daughter's birthday is passed. So we have 50, 70, 80, 85. And then we're going to flip back here. I don't have any fives left for my $5 savings challenge. You can get this in my Ko-fi shop for free if you are interested. It comes with a $10 challenge and a $20 challenge. I do not have anything to put in those today, but here in the back in this little pouch I put all my US rollover, whatever I have left after getting my gas. So this is just an envelope full of ones with my one single star note on top. So these $3 will be added to that today. So now in ones we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. $17. And I haven't decided yet how long I want to keep saving these. I'm thinking maybe when I get to $50, I'll convert it to Canadian and add it to the Hay Fund. I'm not entirely sure. But that is that for today. Not as much as I wanted or had hoped, but you know, it is what it is. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your comments and for following along, for all the support and the likes and all of it. I really do appreciate every one of you who tunes in. We'll see you next time. Bye.